If it means saving his father from the clutches of Man-Bat, will Damian Wayne Robin be forced to break bread with the mysterious Shush? Well, let's hop into the pages of Batman and Robin issue number 9 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the book, Batman is coming to in Kirk Langstrom's inner sanctum, and why yes, before I even have to tell you, you already know, it's a Man-Bat cave. This issue actually does something pretty interesting too by actually taking what I think was a question a lot of the fans had and making it part of the actual text. As Bruce says to Kirk, "What the hell happened to you, man? You used to be a good guy. You worked with Wonder Woman and Zatanna. You were an integral part of Justice League Dark." And indeed, Man-Bat has an answer, but it might not be the answer you expected. As Kurt explains, he was good. He did try and better himself, and in the end, none of it mattered. He still ended up murdered in Arkham Asylum, and he still got resurrected as a zombie for Task Force Z. Basically, what Man-Bat is saying here is, in kind of a fun meta way, why should I bother keeping consistency in my own character arc when no one else seemed to care? He even puts a grim little exclamation point on this speech by saying that for too long he's been experimenting on himself, when in reality he always should have been experimenting on Gotham as a city. It's after that we transition back over to Gotham High. Robin and Flatline are still working the case from there, and Damian is more resolute than ever that all he needs to do is get Principal Stone to admit that she's actually Mistress Harsh in disguise, and in doing so all the puzzle pieces should fall into the right place. Yeah, you think Damian is a little obsessed or something? It's actually Flatline who has the idea that the best way to get to the principal is to get detention, and the best way to get detention is by having a good old-fashioned food fight. Which, too, is actually a pretty nice way for Damian to stay true to the promise he made to his father to not actually start any fights at school. Well, not any physical fights, anyway. Once he's in detention, finally cut off from the rest of the student body, Damian wastes absolutely no time going in on Principal Stone, saying that it's obvious that she's Mistress Harsh in disguise, and that this whole becoming a principal and running a soccer team is all a direct result of her not being able to process her own failure, what with getting kicked out of the League of Shadows by Talia. All of this actually ends up touching a major nerve as the facade falls away and Mistress Harsh reveals herself. Yep, she was always a supervillain. Yes, she was trying to train the soccer team into becoming her own personal henchman. The only problem is that the soccer team still kinda sucks and Damian is able to make short work of them. But wait, are you ready for some twists on twists? Even though Mistress Harsh was indeed Principal Stone, she wasn't actually Shush. In fact, neither Shush nor Harsh actually had any idea of who the other person's secret identity was, and that is because Shush is ultimately revealed to be, yeah, you guessed it, nice Mrs. Hall. I mean, yes, is it a twist I called a mile away? Definitely, but to give Joshua Williamson all the credit in the world, he actually goes the extra little step by adding this fun little dimension to it. You see, Damian never actually thought that Hall could have been Shush because their voices were different. Hall only reveals her Shush voice when she threatens the rest of Harsh's cronies. Again, very fun. But why did she become a supervillain, you might be wondering? Well, all of that is explained here in very good detail. It turns out that Hall actually used to be a surgeon. She was the protege of Tommy Elliott, aka the original Hush, who, after he was defeated by Batman, the hospital, fearing any more disgrace, actually ended up firing Hall, who was actively covering for Tommy while he was away being a supervillain. With her medical license gone, the only job Hall could get was as a high school teacher. She blamed Batman for how far her life had fallen, and it was at her absolute darkest and lowest moment she ended up getting recruited by Man-Bat and his cult. Of course, after having Batman save her from Man-Bat in the previous issue, Miss Hall is understandably now rethinking every life choice she made. Tommy was always the bad guy, Batman was just trying to help, and she very much put her faith in the wrong people, and because of that she might be dying because she's still bleeding out after the end of the last issue. Flatline decides to stay behind and make sure she gets help, while Damian, using a map given to him by Hall, is able to retrace his father's steps, including that strange map from the last issue that Bruce couldn't make heads or tails of, but Damian does. Batman thought these might have been shipping lines for Kirk Langstrom's new deadly animal drug, but in reality they're actually flight patterns for the city's bat population. And that's because, you guessed it, Man-Bat and his cult plan to weaponize all of the bats within Gotham City and turn them into plague carriers. for his new animal serum that, if it's good, might turn you into an animal strong enough to survive the crushing horrors of Gotham, or it might just kill you 50-50. And it's on that note right there the comic comes to a close, everyone. So that was Batman and Robin issue 9, and I gotta say Joshua Williamson is really moving from strength to strength on this one. I love how the mysteries really come together. I love how we had reveals within reveals. I love getting to hear Hall's origin and knowing that it actually feels organic and not like they added too much onto the original Hush story. I like that Damian has to save his dad in this. I also like that Robin managed to be both right and wrong when it came to his obsession with Mistress Harsh and trying to reveal her. I also get the strong feeling that even though she's ousted, now that we know for a fact she was actively training students in the school to be part of her own private army, you know that's gotta come back later. Overall, I think I feel comfortable giving this one a very positive 8.5 out of 10. Good stuff, and I can't wait to see how it all shakes out. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.